Wake up. No, really, wake up. You don't get another shot at this day. It's not coming back. No matter how yesterday went, no matter how tired you feel, today is the only shot you've got right now. And here's the truth. You're either going to own this day, or you're going to let it own you. That alarm clock you just hit snooze on, that's not just a sound, it's a choice. A choice between being the version of you who dreams, and the version of you who does. Look, nobody's coming to save you. No magical moment is going to appear and change your life. You are the rescue team, you are the plan, you are the only one who can make today different than yesterday. Let's get real. You already know what needs to be done. You already know what you're avoiding. You already know the excuses. But here's the wake-up call. Your potential doesn't care about your excuses. It only responds to your actions. You want confidence. Then do the things that scare the hell out of you. You want discipline, then stop negotiating with your comfort zone. You want progress, then start before you're ready. You want to change, then move your feet, even if your mind screams not yet. This isn't about motivation. It's about movement. Tiny steps, repeated, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. That's how you build a life that doesn't need escape routes. You are the rescue plan. Read that again. Let it hit you deep, because too many people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment, the right support, the magical sign, someone to show up and push them forward. But the hard truth, no one is coming, no mentor, no hero, no miracle, just you. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to free you. Because once you realize that everything you need to change your life is already inside you, you stop waiting and start moving. You stop doubting and start deciding. You stop living on autopilot and start waking up with purpose. You see, we're raised on stories where someone always shows up. The knight in shining armor. The coach who believes in us. The miracle moment when everything clicks. But life doesn't operate like that. In real life, change happens the moment you get sick of your own excuses. It begins the moment you draw a line in the sand and say, I'm done living like this. No one else can feel that fire for you. No one else can do the push-ups, make the calls, take the risk. That's all on you. And here's the real kicker. You're way more powerful than you think. The problem is, you've been trained to doubt yourself. Conditioned to believe that confidence is something you're born with, or that success is for those people, the ones with better connections, more money, easier lives. That's nonsense. Every single person who changed their life started at the same place you're standing right now, unsure, afraid, and surrounded by reasons to quit. The difference is, they didn't wait to feel ready, they started. They moved, they became their own rescue plan. It starts with a choice, a decision to show up even when you're tired, a commitment to take one step, even when you don't know the full path. That's the difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck. The ones who grow stop relying on external motivation and start relying on internal standards. They decide, I am the kind of person who does hard things. And then they do them. But let's be real, it won't be easy. You'll have days where doubt screams louder than your dreams. You'll have mornings when the bed feels safer than the world. You'll want to quit. That's normal. That's expected. But that's also the test. The moments you feel like giving up are the exact moments you must lean in. Because every time you push through the resistance, you grow stronger. Every time you keep your promises to yourself, you build a version of you that you can be proud of. And isn't that what this is really about? Not just achieving goals, but becoming someone you respect. Someone who doesn't flinch in the face of adversity. Someone who can stand tall and say, I didn't wait for a miracle, I became one. That's the version of you that exists on the other side of effort. But you'll never meet them if you keep outsourcing your power. This world doesn't owe you anything, but that's good news. Because if nothing is owed, then everything is earned. And if it can be earned, that means it's in your hands. Your life, your goals, your transformation. It's all waiting for one thing, for you to take control, not tomorrow, not next week, today. So here's the challenge. Stop looking outside for answers that live inside. Stop waiting for someone to notice your potential. Start acting like it's real. Stop blaming your past, your parents, your boss, your circumstances. Start owning your choices. You're the only one who can rewrite your story. You are the author. You are the warrior. You are the rescue team. Get up, stand tall, decide who you want to be, and start becoming them now. The moment you stop waiting for someone to save you and realize that you are the one you've been waiting for, everything changes. Forever, discomfort is not your enemy. In fact, it's the doorway to everything you've ever wanted. But here's what most people do. They avoid it like it's fire. They run from hard conversations, quit on new habits when they get tough, back down when fear shows up, and then wonder why nothing in their life changes. Let me be blunt. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, then you're not willing to grow. And growth is non-negotiable if you want anything more than just an average, forgettable, stuck on repeat kind of life. You're going to feel resistance. That tightness in your chest, the anxious thoughts, the sudden urge to scroll your phone or clean your room instead of working on your dream, that's all resistance. It shows up the moment you decide to level up. And that's a good sign. It means you're pushing beyond the boundaries of your old self. But you have to stop interpreting that discomfort as a stop sign. It's not. It's a signal. It means you're on the edge of change. Most people never push past that edge. They wait for the discomfort to go away before they take action, but it never will. It's always going to be there because it's a sign that what you're doing matters. Anything worth doing is going to stretch you. Starting a business, speaking up for yourself, committing to a healthy lifestyle, pursuing a dream others don't believe in, that stuff isn't comfortable. It's not supposed to be, but the moment you start leaning into it instead of away from it, your life starts shifting. That's where growth lies, on the other side of your resistance. Think about this. Every strong version of you that exists in the future had to walk straight through fear, self-doubt, and struggle to be born. There's no shortcut, no fast pass, no easier way. The only way is through. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Comfort is a liar. It convinces you that you're okay when you're actually stuck. It whispers things like, rest a little longer, or maybe tomorrow, when what you really need is to act now. Comfort zones might feel safe, but they're also where dreams go to die. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you reinforce the idea that you're not capable of more, and that belief becomes your prison. But what happens when you flip the script? When you stop fearing discomfort and start chasing it like a clue, you get stronger, you build resilience, you train your nervous system to stop freaking out over small things. You start trusting yourself again, and that trust, that belief that you can do hard things, is the foundation of confidence. Real, unshakable confidence isn't built by talking to yourself in the mirror. It's built by showing up over and over again when it would have been easier to quit. And no, it won't feel good right away. Growth is awkward. It's messy. It's filled with moments where you question if it's even worth it. But then you look back, a week, a month, a year, and you realize how far you've come, how strong you've become, all because you stopped running from the hard stuff and started seeing it for what it truly is, proof that you're alive, evolving, and not settling. So next time discomfort shows up, don't flinch, lean in, smile at it, say, I see you and I'm not backing down. Because discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the evidence that you're doing something that matters. Motivation follows movement. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. Everyone's sitting around waiting to feel ready, waiting for that spark of inspiration to hit them like lightning so they can finally start chasing their goals. But that's not how this works. The spark doesn't come first. The spark is created by the friction of action. You've got to start moving first. Then the motivation shows up. And if you keep waiting for motivation before you act, you'll be waiting forever. You don't need a lightning bolt, you need a decision. Every time you take action, even the smallest step, you build momentum. Think of it like pushing a giant flywheel. The first push feels heavy, it barely moves. That's the resistance, that's your mind trying to protect you from change, but you keep pushing. Slowly, the wheel starts turning, and then you push again. It gets a little easier. The more you move, the more power you generate. That's when motivation starts to build, not at the beginning, but because you had the guts to begin before it existed. And that's the shift you need to make in your mindset. Motivation is not a starting point. It's a result, a byproduct of doing the thing you've been avoiding. You start walking, then the energy shows up. You start writing, then the creativity flows. You start working out, and suddenly you feel stronger. But the key is, you've got to override that lazy part of your brain that says, let's wait until we feel like it. Because that voice will lie to you every single day. Here's the raw truth. You're not lazy, you're stuck in a loop. A loop where your thoughts paralyze your actions, and your lack of action reinforces your doubts. The only way to break it is to move, right now. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something, one decision, one task, one step. That's the crack in the wall that lets the light in. You want to feel proud of yourself. Do the thing you said you'd do, even when you don't feel like it. That's how you rebuild trust in yourself. That's how you stop being a prisoner of procrastination and start becoming the kind of person who takes control. No more waiting for the mood to strike. No more relying on hype. Motivation isn't an outside force. It's an internal engine, and you control the ignition. The people who build incredible lives, the ones who are consistent and relentless, they're not always motivated. They just mastered the art of taking action without needing to feel perfect first. They know that the feeling comes after the doing, that showing up, again and again, creates the emotional fuel they need to keep going. So ask yourself, what's one thing you've been putting off? One task that's been sitting in your mind, draining your energy just by existing? Do it, not tomorrow, not later today, now. Give yourself 5 minutes. That's all it takes, because once you start, the hardest part is over. That little shift in energy, that sense of I did it. That's motivation being born in real time. You are not waiting for motivation. It's waiting for you, and it shows up the second you stop waiting and start doing. So move, even if it's messy, even if it's uncomfortable, especially then. That's how you build the momentum that makes the impossible feel inevitable. Every morning is a choice. Before your feet even hit the ground, your mind is already deciding who you're going to be that day. And the scary part, most people don't even realize they're making that decision. They roll over, hit snooze, check their phone, scroll through other people's lives before they've even acknowledged their own. And just like that, they've surrendered the day, not because they had to, but because they chose to, without even knowing it. You need to understand the power of that moment, the moment you wake up, because that moment sets the tone for everything that follows. It's a fork in the road. One direction leads to discipline, ownership, momentum. The other leads to delay, distraction, regret, and it's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You don't need a 10-step morning routine to change your life. You just need to stop starting your day like it doesn't matter. It does matter. Every single day matters. People act like they've got unlimited tomorrows, like they'll figure it out next week or start trying next month. But time doesn't work that way. Every day you delay is a day you'll never get back. Every morning you drift through is another opportunity gone, and those missed days add up. They stack until you look back and realize that years have passed and nothing's really changed, because you never truly decided to change. The moment you open your eyes, you're either feeding your future or feeding your comfort. That's the truth. And yes, it's easier to hit snooze. Yes, it's easier to stay in bed, to scroll, to avoid the world. But easy never gets you where you want to go. Growth, success, peace, pride, they live on the other side of I don't feel like it. If you can win the first hour of the day, you can win the whole thing. And it starts with a choice, a simple, powerful, personal decision. Today, I show up for me. This is the choice that separates people who live on fire from people who live on autopilot. The ones who rise with purpose know something most don't. Your energy, your mindset, your direction. It's all shaped in the first few minutes of the morning. That's your launch pad. That's your edge. And when you take ownership of that moment, you stop reacting to life and start leading it. Stop treating the morning like it's just the start of another ordinary day. It's not. It's the start of your life, again and again, every single time. Each sunrise is a reset, a chance to be better, to aim higher, to move faster, but only if you choose to treat it that way. Wake up with intention and everything changes, not overnight, but absolutely over time. And if you've been drifting, if you've let too many mornings slip through your fingers, it's not too late. You can make a new decision right now. You can reclaim your morning. You can draw a line in the sand and say, no more. No more wasting time. No more letting the day control me. From this moment on, I own the morning. And by owning the morning, I own the day. And by owning the day, I take back my life. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't just get out of bed. Rise. Make the choice to move with purpose. Make the choice to lead. Make the choice that so many won't, because every morning is a decision, and it's time you started making the right one. Discipline is self-respect. That's what it really comes down to. It's not about punishment. It's not about being rigid or cold. Discipline is about keeping your word to yourself. It's about showing up even when no one's watching, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard. Because the truth is, if you don't respect your own commitments, no one else will. You teach the world how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. And if you keep breaking promises to yourself, you're teaching your mind that your word means nothing. That's why so many people feel stuck. It's not because they're lazy or weak. It's because they've told themselves so many times, I'll start tomorrow, or this time I mean it, and then backed down again and again. Every time you do that, you chip away at your confidence. You erode your belief in your own ability to follow through, and eventually, you stop trusting yourself completely. You say you'll do something, but deep down, you don't believe it anymore. That's not because you're incapable. It's because you've let yourself off the hook too many times. But here's the good news. You can rebuild that trust, one decision at a time, one action at a time. Every time you follow through, even on the smallest thing, you're sending a message to your brain. I am someone who does what they say they'll do. And that's where real power comes from. Not from external validation, not from praise or applause, from the quiet pride that comes from knowing you showed up when you didn't have to. That's self-respect, and don't confuse discipline with motivation. Motivation is a feeling, discipline is a habit. Motivation comes and goes, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, but discipline, that's your foundation, that's the thing you fall back on when motivation disappears. Because it will disappear, you're not going to feel inspired every day, you're not going to feel strong, confident, clear every single morning, but you don't need to. You just need to decide that your actions aren't negotiable. The truth is, you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems, and discipline is the system that keeps you moving forward when everything else wants to pull you back. It's the thing that allows you to build a life that you're proud of, not just on the highlight reel, but behind the scenes. When no one's watching, when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, that's when discipline matters most. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's powerful, because over time, those small acts of self-respect add up. They turn into consistency. Consistency turns into momentum. Momentum turns into results. And results change everything. But it starts with something simple. honoring your word to yourself, saying, if I say I'll do it, I do it, no matter what. You want real confidence? Stop looking for it in the mirror or in the opinions of others. Build it through discipline, through the quiet, unseen reps, through the moments when you choose growth over comfort. That's where the strongest version of you is forged. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not in the easy moments, but in the hard ones. So start now. Keep the promise you made to yourself. Show up, do the work, not for anyone else, but because you deserve to become the person you said you'd be. And when you do that, not once, not twice, but every day, you'll realize that discipline isn't just a tool for success. It's the ultimate expression of self-respect.